information written by consultants whom they hire that wind energy is clean, green, free, and a solution for the issues of global warming and greenhouse gases. I can say quite categorically that none of those claims are true. Not one of them. None of them withstand scrutiny. There's no claim that the wind industry has made of any substance that can be substantiated by arm's length research. What they have done is a very successful job of social marketing and of lobbying and have been able to attract enormous subsidies. It's estimated in the province of Ontario, for example, that it will be 100 to 120 billion, that according to Parker Gallant of Banker, cost over the next 20 years, pushing aside social programs, welfare, education, research and development, and other things that ought to be a priority. High-speed transportation with high-speed rail, for example, would be another thing that has been pushed aside. Well, the turbines will accomplish nothing. And it's at great social expense. Another thing, which is closest to my heart in the issue, is I'm hearing a voice. Is there somebody who could observe silence, please? Are you able to hear me still?
Yeah.
Yes. We hear you.
Yeah, there's somebody speaking, and it's disruptive. And if that could stop, it'd be helpful. There is no question, and indeed it's the finding of a tribunal, the Chatham-Kent Environmental Review Tribunal, in July 18th, 2011, that adverse health effects do exist. They said the debate should now be one of degree, but there's no question that they exist. 26 experts from around the world were part of that tribunal, 16 from the proponents, 10 from the plaintiffs, those who said there were problems. So that is a claim it's substantiated. And there are now many highly credible peer-reviewed publications, including the British Medical Journal, that support the adverse health effects. So the wind industry prefers to continue to claim that's not the case. Those claims are false. So there are people being damaged. I have met and evaluated over 40 of them, and the problem is real, and it happens at least to 2 kilometers, and according to my good friend and colleagues' work in Australia, perhaps as far as 10 kilometers, depending on the size of the wind turbines. Unfortunately, the issue has not been dealt with responsibly by governments. And with that, I could conclude my open remarks, but I would be very, very happy to answer any questions you might have about what I've said or other areas.
Any questions? Questions? Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a question. I did have a question. You didn't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dr. McMurtry.
If you right here, you can see him too.
Well, you could try to see him.
Hello. Bonjour, mesdames.
How are you?
Ça va bien, merci.
I was born in Ottawa. That's a good start.
That's great.
Dr. McMurtry, I'm Scottish too. Dr. McMurtry, I was wondering, what is the most effective way to get the point across to the general public? So many people do not comprehend what the wind turbines are about. What is the most effective way when you are limited in time to do that? What would you advise?
I don't have a really good answer for you. It's quite characteristic that people in the cities in particular don't get it because they're not directly affected. The wind turbine industry has calculated quite correctly they can get away with things in the rural countryside, and do. We strongly recommend that you have meetings such as this one, and that you start engaging your community as vigorously as you can. Because make no mistake about it, if and when the wind turbines come to the community will be divided, and there'll be adverse effects that are going to impact community vitality. They're going to impact people's health. They're going to impact learning. They're going to impact the way people's ability to think and to function. Not everybody's equally affected. That's always the case. Whether it's got whatever the risk factor is, whether it's smoking or wrong diet, always some people are more affected than others. It's no different with wind turbines. So the health threat is real. You need to have as many meetings as you can to get that message across. You must communicate with all levels of government, but particularly the state and your municipal government, and make sure that that is understood. You should also do exactly what you're doing and bring in experts from outside who can attest to the reality of the problem and how people have been adversely affected. There are even people who are very articulate, whose homes have been bought out by the wind industry, something they keep secret, by the way, but who are willing to come and speak and explain what it did to their life. So that is the main strategy. The key thing to understand is the wind industry has all the power and influence and money. And of course, the money comes from our pockets as taxpayers. All we have on our side is the truth. However, in the past 4 years, since I became involved in 2008, the progress we've made has been stunning. And I would certainly recommend that you look at the December 6, 2011 Auditor General's report from Ontario, which lays bare all the misrepresentations that the industry, and for that matter, government, make. There's no evidence to the claims that there is benefit. There's no evidence to support that it's a good way to create jobs or to stimulate the economy, etc. Every claim should be disbelieved, not believed. And as a source document, the Auditor General of Ontario, and it's available online, is an excellent one because it specifically takes apart all the arguments. And they even are critical of the Chief Medical Officer of Health's report from Ontario, which was very weak. I think it's fair to say if they had judged industrial wind turbines in the same way, if they judged cigarettes in the same way as they judged industrial wind turbines, then they'd give a pass to smoking. A very, very non-critical, very badly conceived piece of paper. And it has no credibility with anybody who's in the health background, but nonetheless, you'll see the industry pointing to it. It's a very weak document, not worth the paper it's written on, frankly.
Dr. McMurtry, I would like to thank you on behalf from us all. Thank you very much.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Transfer of money from the poor people to the rich people.
Yeah.
This is what wind turbines are all about, because there are few people who are making a lot of money out of it. The political parties, all political parties, receive campaign contributions from big wind, and this is a lot of money, and it helps them win the elections. And big wind, by financing all the political parties, no matter which party wins the election, they are sure that they're going to vote the subventions, the subsidies. In the States, now, there's a big fight this year about the PTC, the production tax credit. At the Senate, they tried to introduce a bill, or an amendment to a bill, to vote to the extension of the tax credit, which is the subsidy, the main subsidy to the wind turbines in the States. The senators have rejected it 3 times. And now there's another initiative. And surprise, some of the Republican senators who were against are now in favor. Oh, yeah. What does that mean to you, logically? The lobby is working in the corridors of power in the Senate, talking to each senator and convincing them. You know what I mean by convincing? Okay. Alors c'est un transfert d'argent, les turbines, c'est un transfert d'argent des pauvres aux riches. parce que ceux qui en bénéficient, ce sont les partis politiques qui sont financés grâce à ça, parce que le big wind, les grosses compagnies comme General Electric, etc., tous les lobbies